a lot more, and you've definitely been seeing like a lot of people kill it like Amaryllis, Tony Pajamas. So it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool to see. That being said, though, we're hopping into game numero uno here on 10. Wow, that damn. Yo, that transition like threw me for a loop, bro.
Oh,
like,
the transitions are hot. And
production quality
on the
got
Collision stream.
mega boosted.
Now, off to the rip, Mr. Oddish sticking true to the Pokemon theme, going to be playing Jigglypuff. This is actually a very interesting matchup. This is something we've seen quite a bit if you are a regular tune-in to the Hungry Box stream, and much similar to the way that would go an early Gimp on the side of Jigglypuff. Now, you have these great disjoints. You have this great... Wait, oh no! Oh no! Okay, all right, good matchup from last.
Great match. Wow.
You know what would have been ridiculous? Is if Mr. Oddish grabbed and held on for a little bit there and just went for a self-sacrifice or went for a backdoor at the last second. That could have led to a stock and another shield break here. Obviously, you can't kill from that range, but another one of those can cost a stock on a rest, so you have to be careful if you're last, because these shields are not lasting in his favor whatsoever right now.
Oh, yeah. No pun intended either. Like, we're seeing... So, I think Last has been playing, like, a tad too defensively so far. I know, like, Puff's slew of aerials have a lot of range, and they can kind of push you off. Plus, I think he was really worried about losing that first stock. Just taking a little rest, a little nap. See?
What is this match so far? All right, look, like you know me, I'm very unbiased. I try to keep things cool and clean in terms of perspective, and that one was just a mess, but it happens.
We're in an Italian restaurante right now because I'm seeing a whole bunch of spaghetti all over the place.
Oh man, it is all over the floor. That down smash coming through. You got to snipe out that early recovery. You force the jump by going out there, and then you get the fade back, and that was a great job by Mr. Oddish. You don't even need a connector. Just make it so Last fades back just a little bit too far, and that worked out.
I feel like for a lot of players, the first set of the day is always the hardest, so you may not be always making like the best decisions or like picking the correct trees when it comes to your combo routes. But that being said, Mr. Oddish is kind of going off right now. Ooh, that would have been a really great option right there.
Yeah, that was a decent idea. It's so hard to catch that when you get knocked skybound like that, because you can mash out and get out of the animation by canceling that rest very quickly. So you almost want to look for a follow-up. Kind of swinging for the fences for sure here with that down B. Looking for another read as well. One of the things, though, is you always have to watch out for that. You put a laggy option out, down air to rest is going to confirm.
And Mr. Oddish had his confirms kind of on point. He had multitude of rest, even put Last to sleep one time. So my mind's got the accuracy when it comes to Jigglypuff. I feel like Last should be maybe not swinging for the fences as much. I think he should be like trying to focus more on his safe, areas. Like neutral air with Byleth is probably the best tool to deal with out of shield. And also you got a sword, homie. You can swing that stuff around and anti-air the hell out of Puff.
I was gonna say that if your playstyle is a bit more grounded from the looks of things out of Last, like not really a whole lot of short hop gameplay and such, that up tilt on the ground is actually one of your best options, especially against Jigglypuff. You always want to catch that 45-degree angle, and having an arc like that, obviously, Mr. Oddish can double jump and bait it, but when you've been consistently called in certain situations where you throw out a forward smash, Mr. Oddish is looking to double jump and catch maybe a spot dodge or a forward smash and then down air you there. So that's when you wait, you recognize it, wait a second, and then up tilt. So that way Mr. Oddish is forced to respect you on shield. So I would like to see some adjustments out of Last for that. Obviously, the interesting trade we saw before from that side B from the sleep one you pointed out before, that one it didn't end up costing a stock, but it was one of those momentum shifts because he was actually connecting a bit. But
I know down smash takes a bit to start up, but like Puff is pretty light, so and that move is strong AF. So
yes,
you're gonna get knocked out of the park with that one.
Even though like Puff is one of those characters that it's almost hard to properly place in any tier list or matchup chart, because it's not so much about the fact that a lot of characters succeed well against Puff, is how good is the Puff at reading defensive habits and edge guards, because Puff's gonna die early to everybody. Like you can make that conversation about literally anyone that Puff dies early. But when you're struggling against fadeaway nairs or fairs off stage, that's when the problem comes in. But it's on the Jigglypuff to actually consistently read your defensive options out there. So Mr. Oddish did really well. We'll see a switch. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something maybe a little bit smaller, because it's the wider stage. Even though Byleth can kind of camp, it wasn't really benefiting Byleth in any way with the way that Last was playing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like maybe a Smash Bill or something along the lines of maybe a Triplat Obviously, Jigglypuff does well on tripod too. But what do you think?
They were kind of getting, I don't know, I feel like last was kind of staying pretty grounded and getting smothered quite a bit. Your game plan against Puff is kind of be pretty much just trade with Puff or just anti-air Puff as much as you can. Because more often than not, if you're trading, you're probably going to kill her first, just given how light she is. I think a smaller stage definitely would do better for scrapping, but it's hard to say because I really couldn't glean too much out of last gameplay out of that first game. They kind of just got smothered a little bit by Puff aerials, got caught in shield quite a bit when Mr. Oddish was using a lot of those pounds, and kind of got carried off the stage given Byleth's recovery not being the greatest since the tether is so long, but it leaves them very susceptible when they're coming back to stage. So
yeah,
as far as stages go, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a gameplay adjustment that needs to be made in terms of how Last is handling this. Okay. Maybe some input delay.
Yeah, I was wondering because I noticed that there was an additional body within the arena at the moment. So we're doing a quick lag check to make sure everything is good. But while we're doing a lag test, of course, if you're in the stream right now, it is the time that you click that little heart button underneath the screen and follow everything that is Fusion.exe. Also, beyond that, if you happen to like the other events, of course, there are multiple weeklies to check out throughout the week. You got HO3Ks, Xeno Wi-Fi, and of course DNA. We'll be talking more about those afterwards. I believe we're still running a live check at the moment.
Yeah.
And if you're in chat, how you doing? How you doing?
Press 1 if you're having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, well, you know, talk to your friends.
Reach out to people. No, for real though.
For real, reach out.
Like, you can make somebody's day by just like reaching out momentarily and like checking up how they're doing. I hope everybody's having a good night. I am going to have a better night. There's some Wendy's on my way pretty soon, and I am starving. But, otherwise,
I go with some Wendy's.
Honestly, like, not even so much that I could go for the Wendy's. It's just that, you know, when you get to that point of hunger, and the moment somebody mentions food at all, you're like,
you like start hyper focusing on that, like, yo, that sounds OD right now.
Yo, you're getting 70 pounds of White Castle? Yeah, let me get it. Like, no, don't buy that White Castle. Don't buy it. Like, no, what?
Oh, there are far better options out there than White Castle. You could be satiating your palate.
Yo, you're getting 20 pounds of cheese? Give me that right now. Like, are you sure? No, I'm not sure at all, but I'm starving. But either way, I like the fact that Wildcard actually typed out the word Uno instead of typing number 1. I respect
Uno. I like that. You know,
I respect the that extra level of
having an extra good day. And that's good. Glad to hear it.
Wait, like I said, we were going through the lag check right now. Take a look at the other side of this pool. So before I was talking about pool number 1.
What's happening in the other side of the bracket, you know? What's happening in the southern hemisphere of this bracket? Ooh, there's a lot. Yeah, player 4, regular. We got elite waiting in the wings right here. There's a lot of I mean, Tri-State's always pretty much heavy hitting when it comes to Wi-Fi participation. I feel like it has like, I feel like the more hardcore Wi-Fi players have been like weeded out in terms of the masses over the course of quarantine these past 7 months. So, but it's good to see like certain players who weren't like willing to give Wi-Fi like a second glance at first are now like consistently attending these tournaments or consistently, you know, pressing the register button on their Smash.gg while they're in their house.
Sadly,
and it's good to see.
It kind of reached that point in time where, you know, it's like, all right, we're not having an event. We're stuck at home for a bit, so let's do what we gotta do. I appreciate the fact that they ended the kill with the down B there.
Although honestly, like one thing I've really grown to appreciate is that you can have an entire week's worth of Smash at your fingertips. Like there is a tournament for every day of the week that you could wake up, play Smash, wake up the next day, play Smash again. You can just enter tournaments to the entire week and be like, yeah, I attended 7 tournaments this week.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even on our end too, like I said last Monday, I hadn't casted in quite some time, and being able to just be in my house, set up in front of my computer, and
it's
just
so comfy.
Cast from home, it's pretty comfy.
Oh, it's so good. I love it so much.
Look, anybody who told you gamer chairs are the thing, Don't listen to them. You gotta
Don't
get a
listen to
cushion.
them. Get a comfy
Like,
office
it is
chair or
not
something.
good. Like, get an office chair because
Yeah.
like these things are good for a few hours, but once I like start getting into it and I'm bouncing around in this chair because
Yeah.
I'm super hype, it's not the most comfortable thing to maneuver in. So
Plus, like, the additional benefit for casters is, like, I could be looking totally disheveled right now, no shirt on. No one would have to know.
that's what you yeah, see, that's during this one right now on DNA. We're live on cam, so
Oh, yeah. That one, yeah, you got like a little more presentable.
It looks like we're getting into things. It seems like the lag check has gone and passed. We did see a little bit at the start, but it kind of cleaned up towards the end. Getting into game number 2, no character changes, and looks like we might be running it back to the same stage because I didn't see them go back to the character select. It is indeed going to be on Town and City.
All right. So now we see Last kind of getting a little more, even just at the start, already so much more movement. Instead of kind of camping at Mr. Oddish and waiting for him to come to him, Last has kind of just been throwing out more stuff. And when you're swinging more against Puff, it's always a good idea depending on the vicinity where Puff is close to you.
Yeah, there are not too many matchups. Kind of similar, like I said before. Oh, good air dodge coverage. The jump is still there. Actually, no, the jump did get ripped. Never mind. That's gonna be an early gimp once again. Looking very similar to the last game. Like I said, Jigglypuff is one of the characters where you're not so much attacking in terms of like trying to read an approach. You're almost just kind of putting options out as an approach coverage. Like option coverage is always a key factor in these games, absolutely. But when you have to put in a hitbox out on anticipation, assuming they're coming in for those short hops, that's where these up tilts and such will work. But it's still kind of similar to game 1, where we saw a lot of very heavy swings versus some like just quick defensive coverage swings. And I think Mr. Oddish has kind of gotten a hold of that.
And I think the move that's kind of been paying the most dividends for Last is that side B. Has been kind of had a high success rate. That being said, though, Mr. Oddish is like 2 for 2 on these offstage kills right now. Just taking advantage of the fact that Byleth does need to stall a little bit before she latches onto the ledge there. And Mr. Oddish is not letting up on those punishes whatsoever.
Good job, though, getting the drag down there into dash attack. Wasn't a true string. There was a trade there, but that's still a trade in Last's favor. However, we are at that point, though, when you're Jigglypuff, you normally don't want to take too many trades. But when you're up in stocks like this, you can afford to go in, and that's a true string. That's going to lead to a rest, and Mr. Oddish closing that out. Going to be moving on in winner's side to fight Mouserat, one of the strong contenders of the Wi-Fi events. Of course, rocking that Pikachu, consistently performing well every week. But we'll see how Mr. Oddish does against Mouserat in the future. Otherwise, for Last, I think one of the big things is just hitbox anticipation, attacking where you assume they'll be versus where they are at the moment is probably the biggest key factor to adjusting to that matchup, because